But all the same, I will appreciate my wife for being with us here. I will appreciate my good friend, the former president of Sierra Leone, who is a leading discussant. Let me also appreciate our special guest, the president of the ECOWAS Commission, for coming. Let me appreciate the former vice president of the Gambia, my good friend who is a senior member of the West African Elders Forum. Let me appreciate my governor and the wife, and my good friend, the governor of Edo State, who just came in, Obaseki. The deputy governors are here, and others who are representing their governors, members of the National Assembly. Let me appreciate Senator Olujimi, representing the ECOWAS Parliament, here with us. And my royal fathers, the royal father of this occasion, the Oluwafori, thank you for coming. You know, I believe this is the first time you've been, not the first time we've discussed, and you've been in Bayelsa State briefly before some years back. But since you climbed the throne, this is the first time you are coming. And the royal fathers around you, I may not bore you, the chairman of the Bayelsa State Council of Traditional Rulers, King Spiff was the former military governor of the Old River State, the pioneer, actually. Of course, King Dakuru, that is sitting next to him. Other royal fathers, Igbagara, Igbogoro, and others. But let me especially appreciate King Joshua Igbogoro, because he appears to be the oldest, or one of the oldest monarchs in Nigeria. He has been on the throne for 64 years. So it's not easy to be on that hot throne for 64 years. So you deserve that commendation. The very senior dignitaries that are here with us from the political end, administration, the academia, because the vice chancellors and professors of 3 universities are here, the Niger Delta University, the Federal University, the African University, and others who came from outside Bayelsa State. I have to appreciate all of you. And let me sincerely join the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation and the Bayelsa State government to welcome you to Yenagoa, the capital of Bayelsa State, for the 2023 Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, what we call the GJF, Democracy Dialogue. I thank the Bayelsa State governor, especially, the wife, the government of Bayelsa State. The deputy governor has been very effective for hosting the dialogue this year, and their warm reception towards our guests and participants. I most sincerely appreciate the enthusiasm displayed by Bayelsans and other Nigerians and their contribution towards the success of this event. I appreciate everyone who has joined us here to participate in the dialogue. Your presence is a demonstration of your faith in our democracy and a determination to make contributions in our quest to provide workable solutions to the challenges of leadership and democratic governance on the African continent. The GJF Annual Democracy Dialogue is an initiative of the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation that brings together stakeholders across Africa to critically examine issues of democracy, interrogate the practice in Africa, and make suggestions where necessary. Let me at this juncture express the regrets of 2 discussants that are not here with us, because unfortunately our letters got to them a bit late. The former president of Tanzania, Kikwete, was to come, and also Mrs. Zuma, the fair chairperson of the AU Commission. But they said next year they will participate. This is why we select people from across the continent that are experienced in such issues to serve as keynote speakers and discussants. Of course, you listen to them. The keynote speaker is a well-known personality. My good friend, former president of Sierra Leone, is the leading discussant. The former former vice president of the Gambia is also one of the key discussants. We also have Dr. Odaga Diambo, the key discussant, came all the way from Nairobi. We also have a former permanent secretary here, one of our professors. Of course, they will announce them. The dialogue is not meant, and I have to emphasize, the dialogue is not meant to bring any nation down. It does not target any country. It does not target any particular country or group. The focus is mobilizing citizens through effective conversations with a mind of setting an agenda for the political development of the continent. The series of dialogues, sometimes we'll go back to the history of our founding fathers, come to the present set of leaders, and try to identify areas we have not done too well, and provide solutions. How do we improve in such areas? As a continent, we must move forward. In recent years, democracy in the continent has gone through a period of crisis characterized by social tension, coup d'etats, insecurity, and poor management of elections, which itself is a threat to our democracy in Africa. The challenges of poverty and unemployment and non-alignment of basic economic rights has created a crisis of trust in the hearts of citizens on the role and impact of democracy in our society. People are beginning to even question, why should we even conduct elections? These issues have begun to question the fate of democracy as well as impact on the peace, security, and development of the continent. My role today as the chairman of the occasion is actually not to make a long speech. It's just to flag, it is not my day. It is Professor Lumumba's day. And the discussants will listen to how they will interrogate these issues, breaking new grounds in the democracy development nexus in Africa. So it is my pleasure to invite you to have an honest conversation and provide solutions that will help advance democracy in the continent. The theme of the dialogue underscores the fact that we need to see democracy beyond elections and critically look at the nature of our elections and what happens after elections by way of good governance. Leadership should work towards ensuring that democracy translates into economic well-being of the citizens. We need to look at the gaps in our democratic system and seek to understand why democracy in many of our societies has been unable to guarantee peace and economic growth for the citizens. Democracy should be able to encourage development and help ensure social growth of the society. Democracy is about the people and should be able to uplift the social condition of the citizens. Democracy draws its strength from the people. We must work to ensure that its impact in the lives of the people is felt and appreciated. As leaders, we have a responsibility to ensure that democracy endures by adhering to the rule of law, respecting the rights of the people, strengthening public institutions, and ensuring that we implement policies that will impact positively on the lives of our citizens. Recently, of course, everybody said so, and regrettably, we have witnessed citizens, men and women, young and old, heralding the overthrow of civilian administrations with jubilation and conviviality. We've seen that. Look at when this happened in Niger, see the jubilation. Gabon, see the jubilation. People were celebrating military overthrowing civilian administration. We know that such victory songs will not last long. Definitely we will not. We'll watch and see. But the mere show of appreciation to the military tells us that Africa needs to rejig our democracy. It is on this note that I formally declare the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation 2023 Democracy Dialogue in Yenagoa open. I encourage us all to have a productive and engaging conversation. God bless Nigeria.